when you treat professional wrestling like a 9 to 5, that's exactly what's going to become. We have to show levels with professional wrestling, bro. And what inspired this video is the quote unquote body shaming. I never heard of nothing like this. And especially in a world with combat sports or sport oriented at all, that you have the requirements is you have to be physically capable. Any sport that requires you to be physically capable, when is body shaming was a thing? In football, basketball, baseball, anything that you have to be physically active, body shaming, I've never heard of it because it's simple. You never heard of it until this generation. You know why? Because it was already required. It was required to be in shape to do this. Right? Now, professional wrestling being a lot different from those sports, we all know it's different. But you have to be in shape to do this. Night in, night out, taking those bumps, etc. You have to be in shape. At least that's what I thought. And people will look at Adam Cole's of the world, the Dave Garcias of the world, the Orange Cassidy's of the world, the Dominic Mysterios of the world, and might be inspired, which is good for all the wrong reasons. Because now we have been relegated to believe that you don't have to look like an actual wrestler to do this. You just gotta be willing to travel. You just gotta be willing to do all that, right? You don't have to hit the gym. You don't have to look like a professional athlete. But where Dom sticks out over them, and yes, there are exceptions. Adam Cole could even be an exception. But this is the problem with Dom and then the other guys I named, particularly AEW size stature, who they're pushing as top guys. All of them are pretty much in the same category when it comes to athletics or being athletic or looking athletic, at least, right? Because obviously they're all athletic, I'm going to give them that. But they do not look like they belong in the ring. This is where Dom sticks out because he's the only one that really looks like him. You look around at the WWE, there's not many other people at all that is small as Dominic Mysterio when it comes to his size stature. It's not many at all. Who have we got? Akira Tozawa? Who else? Like, I can't say Chad Gable. And really, Akira Tozawa's even in shape. He's smaller, but he's in shape compared to Dom. You see the difference? Those guys, Chad Gable, Dom, Akira, these guys all look different. And Chad Gable looks like a machine, right? But even though he's short, don't mean nothing. But then when you look at AEW, you have multiple guys that looks like Adam Cole. That looks like they don't hit the gym at all. You had Chuck Taylor, that was a wrestler. It's unfortunate his career got cut. I was never a fan, but it's still unfortunate. But this guy literally looked like Hank Hill just jumped in the ring, bro. Like, come on. Trent standing next to him was like night and day. You know, at least Orange Cassidy, I guess, is in shape, even though he's like skin and bones. But like, that's who they push at AEW. You got Darby as well. Nobody stands out. You got Hook as well. Jack Perry as well. Nobody stands out of all these guys. You can't tell apart, and all these guys are all similar size. They all look like they don't belong in a ring physically. I just said there's exceptions. You can have great characters. You can have great character work. But it becomes a problem where there's too many people that look like you. Darby and Orange Cassidy, don't look different from each other. Adam Cole, Hook, all these people don't look different from each other because they're not the only ones of their kind. They're all bunched up together. Adam Cole is a main example of this because he was gone for a while. Glad to see him back. And me personally, I never cared about the physical appearance of wrestlers, but I cared more than what I thought I cared. You get what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's there. It's in the back of your conscience when you're a wrestler fan, because that's what you grew up off. That it was a diverse of people. You had Daniel Bryan at his peak in 2013, 14, right? Nobody else looked like Daniel Bryan. CM Punk. Nobody looked like CM Punk. But when everybody is copy and paste, pretty much, nobody's going to stand out. But even with character and all that shit, nobody in today's time, and a lot of them in today's time, are not showing that they take this seriously. They're not showing that this is the land of the giants. You are a giant if you step into the wrestling world, where this is one of the toughest businesses. It don't look like that anymore, that much. Because now WWE don't really have this problem. Like I said, Dom is really like one of the only ones that really look like him. Not in shape. He's extremely athletic, but he's not in shape. But that works for him because there's nobody else that's Dom that's getting a push at that. Nobody else. But there's plenty of people in AEW that looks like Adam Cole and that's getting a push. And that's a problem. It should just be only Adam Cole, maybe Darby, not everybody else. Right? But I feel like with Adam Cole, you should be getting body shamed. Because how dare anybody say this guy's the next Shawn Michaels is crazy to me. I don't know where or how you, I don't know where, I don't see the similarities at all because he does a super kick like everybody don't do a super kick today. He has long hair, I guess. I don't know. This ain't an Adam Cole this, is just an Adam Cole fact. He is no Shawn Michaels. I don't understand that. And for anybody to make those expectations that high is crazy to me. That just shows you the mediocre, the expectation level is so low now compared because I have to blame. Do I have to blame CM Punk or Daniel Bryan? I can't really. I really can't. I gotta blame AEW for this ideal. When Cody Rhodes left, that's when the whole ideology of AEW changed. The smaller guys are the killers around here. And like I said, it could be exceptions. Jack Perry could be an exception if he was the only guy. He was one of the rare guys that's his size. But when everybody is pretty much his height and size, who feels special? Now you got some that you can't ignore. Darby's one of them. He's just a guy to me you can't really ignore. He would do good in WWE, but could you say that about everybody else? Be honest with you. It's a lot of them that would not do great in WWE. Darby, I just think he would do good in WWE. To be honest with you. And I think he would go to the main roster. I don't think he would have to go to NXT. He doesn't feel one dimensional, and he stands out because he's really like kind of the only one of his kind. Even though there's a lot of guys his size and height, but he stands out. I feel like Jack Perry stands out because he's character transition. But like I said, this is about the quote unquote body shaming. And I feel like Adam Cole, you should have set an example that you take this seriously. You are the star that you claim to be. Why you didn't come back here jacked up? Look at Randy Orton. Randy Orton look like fucking Brock Lesnar right now. He's humongous. Like, Who gives a shit? Steroids or no steroids? That ain't my business. But like, you can't sit here and say the looks don't matter. Yes, it do. Yes, it does. Yes, it do. And if it didn't, then I feel like AEW interest, the interest of AEW will be a lot higher. This isn't the AEW hate. This is just AEW facts. The interest of AEW would it be extremely higher if looks didn't matter. The viewership, all that would be a lot higher. And I know a lot of people say, well, the views really don't matter that much. Definitely when everybody's about to go streams and digital. Well, I'm going to tell you why the views does matter. Views are telling you if this is a actual popular hot show or not. That's what views actually showing you. What's growing. Let's say in the next 5 months and we check on ratings. Let's say NXT is getting an average of 700K, 600K. But let's say in the 5 months, next thing you know, NXT got 800 to 900K. Doesn't that tell you the interest is going? The interest is going up? Then let's reverse that. Let's say in the next 5 months, NXT's down to 400, 300K. Don't that tell you that the interest is going down? That's why ratings does matter. Ratings does not determine which show, the actual product itself, the services that's being done. That don't determine if it's a better show or not. If you look at it that way, that means you're looking at it from afar instead of looking at it from a detailed perspective in your own point of view. You looking at it from afar if you just say, oh, well, the ratings is down, so this show got to be bad. If you just watch for yourself and judge to say the show is bad or the show is good, that's a whole other story. That's all I'm saying. Now, because yes, you could have more views, but you still could suck though. That's all I'm saying with that argument. You can have more views. Yes, you can. That does not make you a better show. But this isn't about that. I'm just saying this all goes back to looks does matter. Doesn't really matter if he's a good, great show or not. Looks matter because look what they have. Look at the services that you're giving, that you get as a fan, for casual fans and etc. They're trying to grow the audience because they know it grows the audience. We need a diverse of looks. Freakishly big men are not normal to see everywhere else. That's why it worked. That's why it works in the world of professional wrestling. Can we have underdogs? Of course. Have you heard of Rey Mysterio? But you know why Rey Mysterio worked? Because he's the only one of his kind. I mean, literally, Rey Mysterio's an alien. He's from a whole other planet when it comes to wrestling. But there's a reason for that. Because if we had, let's say, Psychosis became a star just like him. Let's say if Ultimo Dragon became a star just like him. Rey wouldn't feel that special then. Now, can you have a couple of dashes of similarities like CM Punk and Daniel Bryan? Yes. But did they blow up at the same time? No. There's a reason for that. You got to keep those types of things separate from one another or they will clash and one will feel less special than the other. One is going to fail. That's just what it is. That's why you got to have those two different types of entities come in different timelines. CM Punk blew up in 2011 and had his big run in 2012, 13 and all that. Then we had Daniel Bryan blow up in 2014. You know what I'm saying? Right after each other. But this all goes back to looks matter. Because with the WWE, they made their looks matter. They were the only ones of their kind. You see how all that connects and makes sense? CM Punk was the only guy that looked like CM Punk when CM Punk was in his prime. The only guy looked like him. Daniel Bryan, only guy looked like him. AEW, you need to take those notes. We need less. We need completely less guys that all look like regular civilians instead of athletes, super athletes. I don't know if Trent Beretta's hurt, but he's a prime example of he looks like an athlete, but yet he's not a star of the show, or like at least a decent star, or even on a card. Scorpio Sky, he looks like an athlete, but he's not even on the show. It's a weird pattern there. Everybody that looks like they are allergic to the gym, they look like they got another job outside of this when they leave or they're not on the show. They coming off their shift job just to go watch the show. That's how everybody else look. Most of them. Nobody looks like superheroes or marketable superhero like stars. There's a very small portion of them. And that goes with Tony Khan. Even with Tony Khan, looks matter, but Tony Khan is still pushing this agenda. Looks matter to him, but he's still pushing this agenda of the smaller man is the giants. He's still pushing that because the fact that Wardlow was never world champion should tell you everything. The fact Hobbs could come back any day and he's not going to be in the world title picture right away should tell you everything. Lash Archer's a jobber. It's over for him. He jumped in group to group, whatever, like everybody else do, is to stand around. Jericho's ring honor champ, but what the hell is Big Bill doing? I think Big Bill should have won the ring honor title, not Jericho. I fuss with Jericho. Jericho couldn't do anything wrong to me. But I'm saying Big Bill needs it way more than Jericho. He needs something. Or this is another Jericho experiment gone wrong again. Nobody gets over. They just get TV time. I give them that. But looks matter, okay? They do. Look at all the world champs in AEW. Hangman, Will Ospreay, Swerve, Danielson, Joe, CM Punk. All these guys have unique looks, and all these guys are Kenny Omega, MJF. These guys were either in good shape character, can talk, all that shit, and they had unique looks. They're the only ones that kind of look like them. Nobody looks like Moxley in AEW. Maybe Claudio, because they got the skinhead thing going on. But Claudio's bigger than him. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying, though, looks still matter to Tony Khan. He's just pushing the wrong narrative still. But we need to get back. AEW needs to get in the fray. They need to get this shit right. They need to get this shit right. And you should be body shaming Adam Cole and these certain guys. Hit the fucking gym and you want people to take you serious in the wrestling world. Where so many people, the only reason why millions and millions and millions of people know what wrestling is because they look larger than life. These guys don't look like your average fucking Joes. Now, everybody looks like your average Joe. It's no longer fun being an average Joe anymore. What's next? We're going to start making midgets world champions? And I ain't talking about guys that's 5 feet. I'm talking about legit midgets. No disrespect to them. But would you want a midget, a legit 4 foot or 3 foot tall person to be a world champion on TV? It's a reason. It's a reason why we got to show levels, and that's what AEW don't show. Is levels. But it is what it is. That's all I got to say about this. What do you guys say about this? Like, share, subscribe, dislike, comment, all of the good shit. We out.